Hi guys, how are you? Thank you for joining me. Thank you for being here. There it goes. Okay, good. All right. Empress Libra, Phyllis, hello. We are going to just do a quick introduction to your shadow side. What is shadow work? What is your shadow side? Because there's so many things that are going on out there. I decided to look it up and I found two that I like, and we're going to go ahead and read those off, and then you're going to hear from me my personal opinion, because that's all this is my personal opinion, my personal experience, what spirit has taught me, what I have been through myself, what I have read that I agreed with. And I am not a doctor in any way, shape, or form. And you should always seek medical advice if you have any doubts about anything. All right. So the shadow is the side of your personality that contains all parts of yourself that you don't want to admit to having. All right. In analytical psychology, the shadow is either an unconscious aspect of the personality that the conscious ego does not identify in itself or the entirety. Addressing the shadow self is essentially confronting suppressed emotions and experiences that have hitherto tried to ignore. Okay, so that's the basic. In analytical psychology, the shadow is either an unconscious aspect of the personality that the conscious ego does not identify in itself or the entirety of the unconscious. That is, everything in which a person is not fully conscious. In short, the shadow is the unknown side. Okay? Now, why do we have a shadow side? Have you thought about that? Why do we even have a shadow side? When you were a child, I want you to think about this. Weren't you always told to be nice? Don't be aggressive. Don't speak your mind. Weren't you always told that's not nice? Don't do that. Kids instinctively and naturally have an aggressive side. It is something that is important to us. And women, I believe, have a larger shadow side than men do, depending on the upbringing, of course. But as a general rule, female children are always told that's not ladylike, instead of being told, no, it's okay for you to speak up for yourself. Let's figure out how you can do this in a manner where you feel heard, yet it's not going to cause a problem for everyone else around you. So to take that aggression that is completely normal and completely natural and figure out a way to use it in a beneficial manner. All right. Team sports, hockey, football, all of those things, even band, cheerleading, they take that competitive aggressive edge that we all naturally have inside of us. It's cultivated and it's put into a system of this is how to express it, which is healthy. And in work, it's brought out in many people who are in sales and things like this. But in general, and I'm not saying it's always brought out in a good way, anything that's manipulative, we're not going to consider that a healthy manner. Okay, if it's negatively manipulating someone. Hi, Susie. Hi, Ift. Thank you, love. And so what happens when we're kids and we're told, you shouldn't say that, you shouldn't do that? We're being told that a part of ourself that is completely natural is wrong, and it must be buried and it must be suppressed. So now we still have this part of ourselves, but it's turned inside, it's turned inward, right? Well, I'm not supposed to be like this. Why do I feel like this? I must be bad. Does this sound familiar to anyone? Does this sound like, you know what? Yeah, I was told I had to be ladylike. I was told that I can't have something that it's wrong for me to want. It's wrong for me to want, instead of being told, how can you go about getting it yourself? How can this empower you? How can you use this desire and this that's completely natural to move you forward? Instead, we're told, no, it's wrong. Bury it. You stuffed it. Yes, exactly. We all had to stuff it. We had to stuff it. And the majority of us on here had parents that, and the majority of people that will watch this later had parents that would physically control that within us, i.e., spankings or worse, right? We were punished because we were being kids, because we were doing what comes natural, instead of them saying, how can we use this for you to better yourself, to motivate yourself, to push you further along? And now we're sitting here as adults talking about doing shadow work and our shadow side. I say no, let it come out, express it, figure out how to use this in a manner that's going to be beneficial for you. It's got to come out. You have anger inside of you. You have aggression inside of you. You have a natural, normal part inside of you that wants to scream, that wants to run, that wants to do and take and get. Why can't you use that part of you to spur you forward? Me, I express my shadow side every day with music. I put on very loud, angry music, and it makes me feel wonderful. It makes me feel alive, because life cannot, should not, and will not ever be one happy moment after the next. It does not exist. That is not reality. That is called stuffing your emotions, and it will turn inward. It will turn inward and attack you back. Okay? So, do we have any questions thus far? Guys, I'm not bringing this up for you to be, I don't want everyone reminiscing on how we were suppressed as kids, okay? I don't want to reminisce on that. That's just bringing it back up. I don't know if anyone is doing that or not, but I do want to make sure that we don't do that, okay? Because that's not what we're here for. We're not here to drudge that back up. We're here to make sure that we stand up and say, you know what, this is a part of me, and I'm okay with that, because it is a part of you. Okay, all right, so does anyone have a question thus far? Aggression can be used constructively. Absolutely. Absolutely, Phyllis. It absolutely can. You can use your aggression to accomplish anything you want. Anything. If you want to sit down and paint, use the aggression to force yourself to sit down and paint. You want to write poetry, use that aggression to force yourself to sit down and write. Anyone else have anything? Anger is an energy. Sex Pistols. If you're funny. It is an energy. It is an energy, and it's an energy that we're cutting ourselves off from, and that's not okay. It is a part of who you are. It is part of being human. It is part of the human experience. You can use it to go for walks. You can use it. I mean, just because it feels wrong doesn't mean that it is wrong. It's natural, right? Susie, yes, daily task moving forward after losing my husband. Yeah. So just remember that the more that you try to suppress these feelings of anger or anything like that, right? Oh, I want this. Use it to spur you forward. Sit down, write a plan. Use that energy to your benefit. People want to talk about shadow work like it's some big scary thing. No, it's not some big scary thing. Shadow work is just finding out who you are and how powerful you really are. If you're not in control of your life, it's because you refuse to tap into your shadow side, to acknowledge its existence and to use it to your benefit. We come up and we have all of these shameful ideas about ourselves. We're not good enough. We're not this. We're not that. I can't. I'm stupid. All this stuff. And it all starts with being told no. It's not okay to want. It's not okay to express yourself. It's not okay to use that energy to move you forward, right? Your journal. Yeah, journaling is good. Hi, Britt. It's major to you right now. I was so angry with my mom now, and because I feel a change happening, I'm glad it's helping, love. I'm glad it's helping. You have to remember that, yes, even though your parental figures, whoever they may have been, suppressed you and told you to deny this part of you, they were taught the same thing. We're just in an age now where we can say, wait a minute, that's a part of who I am. I should not be ashamed of that. I will bring that. I will start tapping into it. I will start listening to it, and I will bring it forth in a manner that is healthy and helps me move forward. If there's anything you want to go after, tap into that. That's what it's there for. That's why you were given that part of you. Okay? Don't ever be ashamed of who and what you are as a whole. As a whole. It doesn't mean that we have to replay the traumas of our childhood. It just means that we are going, you know what? It got put in a box back then. Now I'm going to open the box. It does not mean that you can take your aggression out on anyone else. I don't think the police would care for that, nor would the other individual. But it does mean that if there's a project that you want to do, tap into that energy. Use that. I procrastinate. Here's a good one for you. Here's a good one. I want you to think about this. If you procrastinate on anything, you're stuffing that. You're stuffing it. I procrastinate. Yes, because you're afraid of how powerful you really are. Oh, I meant to do this, but because you're afraid of how powerful you really are, because you weren't taught to embrace it. Where would you be now if you weren't taught to stuff it? If you were taught to use it and to move you forward? That's all it is. That's all it is. Yeah. Hoarding. Hoarding absolutely is trauma. It absolutely is trauma. Yeah. Yeah. But there's no reason why you can't use. Do you hear him? There's no reason why you can't use this energy to move you forward. Now, one big hurdle that comes along with it is the negative self-talk, which we're going to get to later. We're going to combat that one head on all by itself. Does anyone have anything that they do to where they use the energy to benefit them, or do you have any ideas on what you can do to use the energy to benefit you? I'd be further on my path if I hadn't stuffed things. All of us, Phyllis. All of us. But we didn't know. We didn't know. We didn't know. So you can definitely use this energy to God, accomplish anything. Even if it means just getting up and doing the dishes. Getting up, making the bed, taking a shower. If that's where you're starting, that's beautiful. Woodworking, lots of nails. Phyllis. Uh, so did this take a turn where you guys um didn't realize? Did you learn anything? Hi, Claudia. No, I didn't. Baby steps. Yeah, Susie. Baby steps. So you might very well, that's a good point. You might very well need to take that energy and train yourself as if you were a child on how to use it. Very good point. Very good point. Yes. So you're taking it out of the box and you're looking at it and you go, good God, what I could really do with this. I could do some major damage. Owning that knowledge, owning the knowledge that you could seriously be capable of massive damage to someone else helps to empower you, going, I actually am capable of that. And then going, okay, what can I do with that that would be constructive to my future? Right? Yeah. So taking it out and going, okay, this is mine. These feelings, these energies, these emotions, they are mine. I am allowed to have these. I am allowed to have these. And then as you move forward with that, start to understand what they feel like in your body. And you can pull more of them out and put more of them into your body. And you're going to want to do something with it because you're going to start getting edgy, getting edgy, getting edgy. Have you ever seen anybody that was like that energy? They're so impatient. They're getting so mad, right? It's coming out in a time when it doesn't make sense for it to come out in time. It's because they're not in control of a situation and there's nothing they can do about it. But they're getting pissed off and it shows. Instead, embody that energy when you got housework. Embody that energy when you've got a big project at work. Embody that energy when you want to go work out. Sometimes the idea of hurting people can be scary, especially if you're a teenager. Yeah, the idea of hurting someone mentally or physically can be scary at any time. Everyone is capable of it. Everyone is capable of not only physically damaging someone but psychologically damaging someone. The good news is the more that you embrace this energy, the less likely you are to use it in a harmful manner towards someone else or toward yourself. Because like I said, it gets stuffed in a box, so it gets turned inwards. You've got all of this energy that needs to be expressed. It needs to be expressed, but it's not allowed to be. You're going to turn it inward. And that's when so many times we start with the self-hate, right? You guys know what I'm talking about. The self-loathing, the I should have done this and I should have done that, and if I'm a loser, and all these things that come up into our head. That's because this energy needs to be expressed, because you can't go beyond what you were taught was okay, because you don't know it's okay. You don't know it's normal. It is normal and it is okay. Tap into it, embody it, and let it flow through you. And instead of having that energy about it, go, oh, I want to do something, and have something prepared for you to do, and put that energy into it. And it's going to be beautiful. It's going to be beautiful. Yeah, get it out of your head and move it through your body. Even if it's pen to paper, get it out of your head and let it move. It needs to move. It needs to do something. Anger turned inward is depression. Exactly. Yes, Empress Libra. Yes, anger turned inwards is depression. Hi, Assad. It absolutely is. It absolutely is. Negative self-talk and self-harm and all of that, because it must be expressed. All right. Well, I think this is good. We're at 20 minutes, and I think we're going to cut it off there. I am doing well, Assad. Thank you. How are you, love? Self-destructive. Absolutely. Very self-destructive. Very self-destructive. Very self-destructive. I think everyone here loves you, just right back at you, Assad. Okay, so do we have any questions regarding this and did you find this surprising to think about? Group hugs. Yes, group hugs. And if you have anything that you want addressed after this video posts, put it in the comment section down below. Okay? All right, since we don't have any questions, and I think we're good, right? We're good, guys. Okay. All right. Awesome. Quick, direct, to the point. Giving you something that hopefully you can use to help move yourself forward. Giving you something that hopefully you can go, you know what? I'm not a bad person. I just have tools that I was never taught to use. I was taught not to touch. Touch. Play with it. See what you can do with it. See what you can create with it. That's okay, Assad. Rewind and watch it back. You're welcome. You're welcome, Phyllis. You're welcome. Okay, guys. All right. That's it. Quick night. Very quick night. Awesome. Britt, you're more than welcome. All right, guys. You know I love you. I will see you tomorrow for all 12 signs and questions. All right. Peace to you. Ciao. All the buttons here. Got to press all the buttons.